Hope you guys are having a good morning. Hope you guys are having a fantastic morning. It's supposed to be 68 degrees today. I'm like, all right, I can take that. I can take that. 68 degrees I'm good with. You know what I mean? I can do 68 degrees. You know? Oh, let me turn on my chats and shit. I forgot. I keep forgetting to do that shit. Turn on. There we go. There we go. Kick. Kick is up, and you know what I mean? And all right, come on with this shit, y'all. I need to get the other ones. There we go. All right, and there go YouTube. All right, YouTube is up on there, man. Anyway, like I said, I hope you guys having a wonderful day. I got a couple of things to do. Got some tablets and some other stuff. What's up? What's up, Dizzle? Got some shit to do. What's up, Hotep J? Got to run to my father's office real quick. I got to drop off some paperwork. Then off to the Dundalk Marine Terminal to put out some fires. You know what I mean? Anyway, if you're new, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification icon. It'll let you know when I got new content coming out. Share the stream. Let people know we live. Catching this replay, leave a comment. Let me know how I'm doing. I can use that constructive criticism. What's happening? Insufficient may lead to a shutdown of the app. What the fuck are they talking about? You waiting at the airport? Where you headed to, y'all? Where you headed to? Where is you headed to? What we got in here? We got protocol in the chat. I don't know why it takes forever for the YouTube chat to kick in on my listener. I don't know why that should be doing that for real. I made me do that either. Actually, I don't know why that should be doing that. I'm about to adjust it real quick. I'm not sure why that should be acting like that. Hold on real quick, y'all. I'm trying to just make sure shit's set up, you know. Turn the camera off real quick. Boom. I love back. Alright, there we go. So let me move the kick joint over the way YouTube's supposed to be. Maybe YouTube will kick in at some point. But I like y'all to see the chat. But at least YouTube can see the kick chat. I like when YouTube can see the kick chat and kick can see the YouTube chat. You know what I mean? So anyway, let's get it popping. So, check this shit out. These people tripping, y'all. I told y'all the Weather Underground back, yo. We're gonna see a bunch of fucking shit going off, yo. So this dude right here, right? This crazy ass nigga that y'all see on y'all screen. 2 a.m. Sunday morning. This nigga tiptoeing in his Jordans over the fence at the Pennsylvania governor's mansion. Somehow gets into the Pennsylvania governor's mansion and firebombs that bitch. Y'all heard me right? Because now, I don't know how it is in other states, but I know that like the state police is supposed to be guarding the governor's mansion. Like here in Maryland, our governor's mansion is guarded by the state police. I don't know what goes on in Pennsylvania. Right? I don't know what the fuck be going on in Pennsylvania. Yeah, that's the nigga right there. Looking like Osama bin Laden's little brother. Named Cody Balmer. It's the whitest name you can have. Cody Balmer is his name. Balmer, right? Cody Balmer done bombed the damn the governor's mansion. So apparently 2 a.m. on Sunday, this dude sneaks over the fence of the governor's mansion, takes like a sledgehammer and breaks the windows out, bow, and gets into the governor's mansion. Then he takes some homemade incendiary grenades or whatever the fuck it was he made, right? Wherever that shit was he made, he took some incendiaries and then he let me move this again. There we go. I'm gonna put that there. Alright, cool. I'm gonna move him over here. He took some incendiary grenades that he had made and set them bitches off inside the governor's mansion. Caught that bitch on fire. That shit look crazy. Y'all see what the pictures look like? Y'all see what them pictures look like at the governor's mansion? Look at this shit. Look at this shit right here. That's what this shit look like. I mean, set that bitch ablaze with the governor and his family in it. I mean, that's needless to, unless the governor was on fucking spring break with his kids in Fort Lauderdale or something like that. But the governor and his kids and his family was still in that bitch. Still in that bitch. Bruh. They got out and shit. So that was a good thing. But at the same time, like, yo, like, how did the state police not know that somebody was breaking in to the governor's mansion before it was too late? Right? You gotta have at least, I'm gonna just say, I'm gonna be conservative. You gotta have at least two officers on call, right? Am I wrong about that shit? That's what I'm saying, Mike. What's up, Mike? You know what I mean? I'm sitting there like, yo, this is wild. This shit is wild. So that's what that shit looked like. That shit looked like, because when I first seen the pictures, I'm sitting there like, why are they showing like I thought it was some shit, some ruins or something like that. Like you find like an abandoned fucking castle or some shit like that. And I'm sitting there like, yo, what the fuck? They got pictures of an abandoned mansion. And it's like, oh, that's the governor's mansion? That shit just happened? Like, damn. So he said he was disappointed in the governor and some more shit, and said that if he would have seen the governor on his way out, he would have bashed his head in with the sledgehammer that he had. You thought it was AI. What's up, Melissa? Melissa Reeves in the building. Nah, that shit ain't AI. That nigga was really trying to do some shit. That nigga tried to burn the family alive. Is what it sounded like to me. So this is what, so they saying, this nigga Cody Balmer deployed homemade incendiary devices. Charges include attempted murder, terrorism, aggravated arson, and aggravated assault. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. What I tell y'all, yo, 2025 is lit. Season 4 of America is fucking off to a fantastic start. What's up, kid? Kid Gravity in the building. Hey, yo, kid, don't forget, yo, I need you to remember, yo, I'm going to be in your neck of the... My daughter down there right now. My daughter in Atlanta right now. She doing a college tour for spring break. Like her and some, like, school group. They out there in Atlanta doing a college tour. Feel me? So, hey, yo, some shit go all down. I might need you to go pick her up. Yo, make sure she good. But she good. She with a group. But, Also, I'm going to be down there in July. Yo. Like the end of July. Coming down there for a few days. I'm going to holler at you while I'm down there, yo. I'm going to holler at you when I'm down there. But yeah, so this nigga going to jail for a while. He admitted to it. Said he would bash that nigga head in if he would have seen him. Told y'all, season 4 of America is fucking lit, bro. Season 4 of America is lit. Y'all let y'all hear it for yourself, for real. Yeah. I think it's this one here. I think it's this one. Yeah, I think it's this one right here. Oh, god damn it. Hold on. Hopefully, golly mighty. There we go. All right, I'm going to start it.
38-year-old Cody Balmer of Pembroke Borough is facing aggravated arson, terrorism, and attempted murder charges. And
is the sound too loud? Let me know if the sound too loud. Sometimes I got to start and stop the shit, and then it'll be normal. Yeah, come on up, yo. We it's like the end of July. We going. My wife gonna be at this church thing, but me and my homeboy, we going with both our wives going to it. So man, this nigga gonna be exploring. So we gonna be down in Atlanta for real for a few days. You know what I mean? So, god damn it with the spam on Kick. All right, that's what's up. So, all right, let's go.
Police say this all started at around 2 Sunday morning when Bomber allegedly hopped over a fence right here at the governor's residence and alerted state police. I want you to take a look at your screen now. These are new photos we have of the damage left behind from the attack. The Dauphin County DA's office says after...
All right, we back, yo. I gotta get me a phone specifically for
Bomber approached one of the windows. 38-year-old Cody Bomber of Pembroke Borough is facing aggravated arson, terrorism, and attempted murder charges. And police say this all started at around 2 Sunday morning when Bomber allegedly hopped over a fence right here at the governor's residence and alerted state police. I want you to take a look at your screen now. These are new photos we have of the damage left behind from the attack. The Dauphin County DA's office says after getting over a fence, Bomber approached one of the windows on the south side of the residence. Using a hammer he had brought, he quickly broke the window after multiple blows. And according to the police affidavit, Bomber then threw broken Heineken bottles filled with gasoline, starting fires. At one point, the DA's office says Bomber actually entered the residence after breaking another window and started fires in the piano and dining rooms. Now, he was later arrested. Documents show Bomber's ex-paramour called police to turn him in after he asked her to. The affidavit shows that Bomber met with state police at the department's headquarters on Elmerton Avenue and admitted to being responsible for the attack. In an interview, he said he hated Shapiro and would have attacked the governor with a sledgehammer if he had seen him. Shapiro and his family were not hurt. The governor said state police helped him and his family evacuate.
Where the fuck was the state police when this nigga broke in the house? Like, where was they? They should have been on site, right? I swear, yo, this should be sounding like ops, yo. It should be sounding like ops to me, yo. Like, state troopers should have been on site. That nigga should have never made it over the fence. Like some perimeter alarms or something. My ring will tell me when a nigga walking down the street. You mean to tell me that the governor's mansion ain't got nothing better than my ring camera out this bitch? They wildin', yo. They is fucking wildin', yo. But, hey, that nigga about to do some time. I'm not a fan of Shapiro. Not at all. Not a fan of Shapiro. I think whatever he was mad about is probably maybe because Shapiro is trying to play ball with Trump a little bit, right? So people was kind of getting all mad because like they're, you know, all that saber rattling and all of that virtue signaling that these governors were doing during the presidential election. They starting to kind of tuck tail and start the heel turn and trying to work with the administration, right? And I told Unc on the channel, I said, watch, Gretchen Whitmer gonna fuck around and be next. She gonna fuck around and be next because she just was, you know, seen on TV trying to play ball with Trump, hiding her face and shit. You know what I mean? So we gonna see how that goes, but yo, this shit crazy, yo. This shit is crazy. You know what I mean? Like, they called them homemade incendiary devices. Nigga just had some Molotov cocktails with gasoline. He put some gasoline in some Heineken bottles and threw them bitches, or Corona bottles, and threw them in there. That shit is wild. This nigga walking down the street smelling like fucking Carol fuel. He jumps over the goddamn fence smelling like fuel, and he threw them bitches in the house. And he was in the house, and the state troopers they didn't show up till the fire was set. Nigga, please. Nigga, please. What'd you say, Melissa? That's true. That's true. That is true. That is true. That shit trippy to me, though. These people out here wilding, yo. These motherfuckers out here wilding. And if that ain't crazy enough for you, check this shit out. Check this shit out right here. This shit is crazy. right? Because on the heels of that news, we get this news right here.
A federal search warrant, unsealed Friday, details a murder plot as part of a plan targeting President Donald Trump. The documents attribute that plot to 17-year-old Waukesha student Nikita Kassab. Charged in the shooting deaths of his mother, Tatiana, and stepfather, Donald Mayer, inside their home February 11th. According to prosecutors, the teenager stayed inside the home with their bodies for 12 days.
Nigga, what?
The body was appeared to have been deceased for some time, was unable to definitively identify who it was.
Police arrested Kassab in Kansas weeks later, finding him with his stepfather's car, gun, and $14,000. The motive for the murders, according to the federal warrant, was to use that money to fund a plan calling for the president's assassination, to, quote, foment a political revolution in the United States and save the white race. According to the records, Kassab shared an affinity for the neo-Nazi group, the Order of Nine Angles. And they also reference a 3-page manifesto quoted as saying, as to why, specifically Trump, I think it's obvious. By getting rid of the president and perhaps the vice president, that is guaranteed to bring some chaos. The records show Kassab on the platforms TikTok and Telegram discussed buying a drone to use in an attack. And investigators say he told a classmate, quote, when they saw 10 consecutive attacks in the news, it would have been him.
Now check it. The other one, we can speculate, right? I mean, both of them we can speculate. But that one sounded like an op. That shit sounded like that kid is some kind of Manchurian candidate. Because this is why I say that. And this is why I say that about these events. Like, if you're going to do some shit, you're going to do some shit, right? You're not about to sit there and be like, Dear Diary. You know what I mean? Dear Diary, I plan to do this on this day. And then write a whole and wax poetic about the shit before you do it, right? Like the nigga that bombed the PA governor's mansion, the Pennsylvania governor's mansion, they say shit about no manifesto or none of that shit. All they said was this nigga hopped the fence with some fucking Heinekens and set that bitch on fire. He just went and did the shit. And then when he got caught, the nigga was like, yeah, and I'd have bust that nigga over the head too with a fucking sledgehammer when I seen him, right? But then we get these events, right? Y'all saw the house this kid lived in? That was as big as fuck. So you got this kid, he done murdered his parents. He done unalived his parents for insurance money, I guess. For insurance money so he could plot to take out the president of the United States of America. He wrote a whole fucking dissertation about taking out the president of the United States of America. I don't know about y'all. Unless he's just legit crazy or he was under some kind of trance. I've been in a house where nigga body's been there for a week or two. Okay, I've been in a house where the nigga body's in there for a week or two, and that shit smells horrendous. When I say horrendous, I mean the entire block. The reason we found out, or the police found out about it, because me and my grandfather was one of my grandfather's properties. We had to go fucking deal with that shit. He got a call because it was like, they said the whole block was reeking. Like, what the fuck is that shit? And they traced it back to my grandfather's property. Nigga that was renting from my grandfather was in the basement, dead on the mattress, just fucking dead. Right? They suspected foul play, like the girlfriend might have did it or some shit like that. But that nigga was dead. And that shit had the whole fucking neighborhood jumping. Right? So I'm like, this nigga was in the house with two bodies that smelled like that? I mean, it's a big fucking house, but I can't see that shit not just lingering through the house, yo. Just wafting through the house. Then you got all these manifestos. He got 14 grand in cash on him and all of this other shit. I'm like, nah, man, come on. Here we go with he on Snapchat asking for drone information, and then the guy that he getting the drone information just so happened to be from Russia. You know, that ain't a fucking red flag. And then he was talking to a nigga in the Ukraine about some shit. That shit's a fucking red flag. You know what I mean? I'm just like, what the fuck is going on here? And all just simply, we just want to cause chaos on some rules for radical shit. Fortunately, the shit was thwarted. Like, it's like, you know what I mean? Like, Snapchat. Oh, and via Telegram. So now you about to see the fucking encrypted chat messaging apps start to get got. You know what I mean? Remember back when motherfuckers was using like gamer chats, like video game chats to like talk to their Manchurian candidates and shit like that, and operatives. That shit gonna come back. That shit is coming back. What's up, Jay? Josh said he smell a op. Right, that's what I be saying. Like, what's the point of this manifesto, right? Right? You know what I mean? Now I understand, like, if you got your shit written out, like this is how like you got a plan, right? Let me write out my plan on how the order of events need to happen for me to be successful in whatever it is, whatever I'm trying to do. Right? All right, I got you. But these niggas be writing fucking book reports on the shit that they trying to do. You know what I mean? Like, anytime I hear manifesto, I just immediately think of government operation. Sorry. It might not be the case, right? It might not be the case, right? But every time it's just a government operation, it's gotta be a government operation. Manifesto, then I immediately get really suspicious on what the goings-ons of what happened there. You know, then you hear about the players that was involved in it, then I really get suspicious. You know what I mean? I'm just like, yeah, nah, I'm sorry, I can't. Nope, I can't go along with the official story. You know what I mean? Like I said, the Pennsylvania firebombing, the governor's mansion, that shit might not have been an op. That shit might have legit been some nigga that was really disgruntled with the government and with the governor, because you ain't know about it. Nigga, just the only thing that make me feel suspicious about it is the fact that the state police or the security for the governor didn't even catch this nigga till after he was in the fucking house setting that bitch on fire. Right? That's the only thing that's kind of raises the alarm for me. Like, was these niggas sleep in the parking lot and then they heard the fucking flames or alarms and then they woke the fuck up and did what they supposed to do? You know what I mean? That's a possibility. Crazy, yo, but it's that order through chaos. It's that order through chaos. You know what I mean? You know? They arguing about slaves being white on X. Are they for real? Yo, X is I swear, yo. There be a lot of people on X with these crazy jump out the window takes. I don't know what the fuck is going on X, yo. Yeah, probably relaxed, probably took it. They like, ain't shit going on. I'm gonna take me a nap. Next thing you know, boom! That shit is on fire. They said the house got auctioned off. Whose house? The kid's house? Because they said this shit happened in February. February 11th, we just hearing about this kid, right? They said February 11th is when that happened. They saying about the kid. You talking about the kid's house got auctioned off? I mean, I can see that, I guess. Like, I guess after they, like when did they catch him? Like, they had to go in there and clean that house up. Oh my God, could you imagine that shit? Parents are just dead, fucking rigor mortis set in, and then the blood start pooling to the back of the body or however they was laying, and that shit starts seeping into the floorboards and shit like that. Oh, you gotta replace all that shit. All that shit gotta be replaced. That house might have went for pennies on the dollar. It was a murder that happened in this bitch. How much you want for it? Oh man, let me go get some gas real quick while I'm down here. Grab me some gas while I'm down here real quick. Before I forget. Let's see, Royal Farms. Let's see, because I gotta get premium. So what did it say? $3.99 a gallon for premium. Damn. Still too high, goddammit. Still too fucking high, goddammit. Still too high. Hell yeah, that house was big as shit. That house looked like $1 million house, y'all. That house was like $1 million house. That was a big fucking house. Y'all gotta see that shit again. That shit was crazy. Man.
A federal search warrant, unsealed Friday, details a murder plot as part of a plan targeting President Donald Trump. The documents attribute that plot to 17-year-old Waukesha student Nikita Kasap. charged in the shooting deaths of his mother, Tatiana, and stepfather, Donald Mayer, inside their home February 11th. According to prosecutors, the teenager stayed inside the home with their bodies for 12 days.
Victim B body was appeared to have been deceased for some time, was unable to definitively identify who it was.
Police arrested Kasap in Kansas weeks later, finding him with his stepfather's car, gun, and $14,000. The motive for the murders, according to the federal warrant, was to use that money to fund a plan calling for the president's assassination, to, quote, foment a political revolution in the United States and save the white race. According to the records, Kasap shared an affinity for the neo-Nazi group, the Order of Nine Angles. And they also reference a 3-page manifesto quoted as saying, as to why, specifically Trump, I think it's obvious. By getting rid of the president and perhaps the vice president, that is guaranteed to bring some chaos. The records show Kasap on the platforms TikTok and Telegram discussed buying a drone to use in an attack. And investigators say he told a classmate,
that
quote,
shit was a
when
mansion,
they saw
bro.
10 consecutive attacks in the news, it would have been him.
Shit crazy. Jay said, Earth what? 509998. Oh, man. That shit is crazy, bro. I'm telling y'all, yo. It's only going to get more weirder, man. As Terror Force strikes or ramps up. And by the way, we still, we're still winning at Terror Force. We just got a battle with China right now. China's going to blink. We just don't know when they're going to blink. You know what I mean? But we always said that. I've always said that. I said China's going to be the issue. The rest of these countries is going to fold. And that's what we're seeing right now. But as Trump keeps continuing to win and put the country back on track, getting out these illegals and saving the, getting rid of these redundant agencies and all of this other shit, you're going to have a lot of pushback, especially from the powers that be, the real people that really run shit, the bankers and them, the motherfuckers that meet up in Switzerland every year to decide the new script. You know what I mean? To decide the new script for America. I'm going to show y'all niggas my father bus, yo, while I got y'all on the stream. I'm going to show y'all the bus while I got y'all on the stream. I'm going through the back door. Pause. I'm going through the back door. Pause. Sliders was the shit. I used to watch that when I was a young man. I don't know, this nigga might be on the bus, he might be in the office. My father just drive this bus around all day. He drive it around all day long, okay? He drive it around all day long. He drive this shit around all day long. I'm gonna show you inside this bus. Get rid of this. I'm chewing on it. Yo, this NeuroGum work, yo. Just don't take NeuroGum and the fucking and Flow. NeuroGum and Flow will have you fucking on one. We're gonna let y'all know. NeuroGum and Flow have y'all on one. Let me see. Go on here real quick. All right, so I showed some people on the stream before. So this, my father converted an entire school bus. He converted an entire school bus into his own personal little mobile home. Okay, look at this shit. Okay, let Make sure this nigga ain't in his sleep real quick. Hold on. Oh no, he ain't in here. So look, this nigga got heaters and stuff. I don't even know why he got that heater in here, because the bus got heat. He just wanted an extra heater, right? He got air conditioning, but he need a fan on him. He got the water run. Let me put this shit down. He got the refrigerator jumping. All this shit work. All this shit work. All this shit fucking works. All right. All right. All this shit works. All right. Anyway. All right. But yeah, so I'm gonna drop this shit off and then I gotta get out of here. But one in the chat if y'all can still hear me. One in the chat if y'all can still hear me. So make sure this shit's still going like it's supposed to be going. One in the chat if y'all can still hear me. All right, cool. That's what's up. So get in here and get out. He ain't even here. He must be gone off somewhere. Hey, Bishop.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Where Dad at?
Not around here. I mean, I don't think he's around the office or anything. You don't see his bus out there.
His
do you?
bus outside.
It is outside. He might be in the bus then.
No, he ain't in there.
He's not in there.
He probably with Davon. Never mind.
Yeah, probably.
All right. So, get me one of these. Is this the shit that he do? No. This is great. That's your boy back in the day. That's your boy back in the day when I played ball. Right. So, yeah. He keep his office junkie too. Grab me something to drink before I get out of here. Yo, he got a whole refrigerator full of them. Nah. The minute I'd open, because he got cameras on the bus, so like he saw, if he was in the bus, he'd have saw me. He saw me. Nah, I can't even talk. He would have saw me pull up. Maybe they down in the yard. So let's see. Why these lights don't come on? Might fuck these lights up. So, like I told y'all, I think I showed y'all this before, I'm not sure. So yeah, so I actually gotta come in here and clean up. What's up, John? I come in here and clean up, but we got all this shit. Just gotta come in here and straighten up, because he done turned this shit into a storage closet somehow. So I ain't got no excuse to not be in shape. My ass just ain't been in this room. I got a gym at my house, and then I got a gym here at the warehouse. I used to come in here. I used to come in here every day, 5 days a week, get it in. This back when we had it in order. He just keep adding shit that he never gonna use, and now it's just cluttered. So now I'm gonna have to toss some shit out of here. Man, a nice bus. Man, nice bike. I wouldn't have to buy a Hunter bike. All right, let me get out of here. Oh shit. So check it. Uh-oh. So my son been asking me for a dirt bike. Right? My kid been asking me for a dirt bike. He on the bus now, I hear that shit running. My son been asking me for a dirt bike. And we do trash removal, so they must have got this off a trash job. I can fix that. I can fix this. Hell yeah, I can 100% fix this bitch. Yep. Uh-oh. My son might got a dirt bike. What's up, E? My son might got a dirt bike. Uh-oh. I'm pretty sure I can fix that bitch. Like, that shit don't be hard to do. That should not be hard to do. There go my four-wheeler over there in the corner. My four-wheeler right there with all that shit on it. I'll break that out in the summertime, especially when it's time to go hunting and stuff. So, but uh-oh, my son might got a dirt bike. I ain't even gonna tell him. I'm gonna fix it up first. He just got a bike yesterday, a new bike. My son ain't learned how to ride a bike until yesterday. So we got him a bike, and he learned in 5 fucking minutes how to ride a bike. So I'm like, cool. Then he started talking about a dirt bike. I said, nigga, you need to ride this for a little bit. Once you ride this for a little longer, and you show me you know what you're doing, then we can talk about your dirt bike. We can talk. There go my father right there. How the fuck he get his truck down here? Anyway, so we'll see. This is his truck. This is what he usually driving on a daily basis. I just brought Miss C stuff down here.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, Bishop got it.
Oh, what's the date?
Today Monday.
Oh shit. Okay.
So I'm about to
go on Friday.
Yeah, no, I took it to a Thursday.
Thursday. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
All right, so I'm about to get out here. I gotta get to the cruise, to the marine terminal.
All right, get out of here, man.
All right. Yep, the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. This is his truck. Ain't nothing under it. Ain't nothing under it Ford. Nothing. He bought this truck and immediately just transformed this bitch. He threw it right in the shop. I think he paid $50,000 for it back in 2020 for the dually, and then he immediately threw this shit in the shop and had a Kelderman lift put on it. So it's a it's straight airbag. It's on airbags. So he could slam that bitch to the ground if he need to, and he can raise it up as high as he need to. So that truck, him buying it and doing all of that work to it, I think that truck is $200. He got $200,000 invested. That's including buying the truck, and that's his work truck. That's this nigga work truck. Like it ain't like he just riding it around for a minute. You ain't got the cooties no more, nigga?
Still got that car.
Yeah. Chantel still fucked up.
Nigga, this shit gonna last a while.
She in the house all fucked up. I was like that.
That's all I got though is the car.
Yeah, she thought she was feeling alright, and then she wasn't feeling alright.
Nigga, that's how I felt. Friday, went outside. Oh, I'm good. Friday night, oh shit, I feel worse.
I don't know what the fuck going on, yo. Hey, yo, I thought he was keeping that catamaran.
Man,
That shit was intact like a couple days ago, right?
so I was gonna keep it, and then I was like, nah, cause I don't want. I'm trying to save bills. I don't feel like paying $200-300 a month. So then I guess he let John just take the pot and take whatever.
Oh shit, you crazy? That shit was fire. That shit fire. Who that? Tom? Yeah, it's Tom and Dan.
Shit happens.
Yep. All right, Joe, I'm out. Nigga, I was looking for you the other day, yo. I needed you to talk with me about the nigga that stabbed the nigga down Texas.
A nigga got stabbed in Texas.
At the school track meet, you ain't heard about that shit?
Oh, you talking about the black dude, right?
Yeah.
What, I've been hearing about it. What the fuck?
That's why I was trying. Send me your number, yo.
I got you.
All right, we're gonna talk about it. I'm gonna bring you on the stream.
All right, bet.
All right, yo. Look at this shit, yo. Look at this shit. So this bitch was in great shape, okay? This shit was in great shape. It was a catamaran. And that shit was in fantastic shape. And my father, I guess they was gonna keep the bitch, but I guess he decided not to keep it. I was mad. I was like, damn, that shit would have been loved to keep. Now that bitch all fucked up. Like I said, we destroyed boats and shit, so we destroyed stuff. So that's gotta get destroyed right there. This gotta get destroyed. This boat right here. Look at this shit. You got a sailboat and that bitch gotta get destroyed. That RV gotta get destroyed, and that 53-foot trailer gotta get destroyed. So he might call me down here to knock that shit out. Give me a couple extra shekels. You know what I mean? Give me a couple extra shekels for that. Nah, he don't be salvaging shit. That nigga he destroyed that shit. That's like, all that shit y'all just seen in there, it'll be gone. It'll be gone by the end of the day today or tomorrow. So the boat you seen on the trailer, the two boats outside, and then the shit that's in the yard, by tomorrow afternoon, that shit is gone. He don't scrap shit. Like, he might pull the engines and toss them in another dumpster, and then he take them shits to the scrap yard. He don't save nothing. Now, he'll let me or the guy I was talking to, Davon, or the guy John, if we see some shit on the boat that we could probably sell, then we can sell that shit. But we gotta pull that shit immediately, because he's like, yo, this shit ain't sitting around this bitch. If you think you can sell it, pull that bitch, put that shit on marketplace, and then get rid of it. He's like, I'm not about to become Sanford and Son out this bitch. So that's how he be. That's how he be. So yeah, this nigga. So he chilling. So I don't even know. His truck was at the house with the bus. I'm like, how the fuck he get the truck down this bitch and let, you know, never mind. I know exactly what he did. Never mind. He probably drove the bus back down here and had one of his drivers go get his truck. I know how this nigga be. He'd be like, yo, go to my house and get my truck. And he drove down in the bus, and the other driver probably went and took another drive up there to grab his truck and bring it down. So, what's up, Daisy? You got $7 for your old water heater? Yeah, like it should, like, so what he will scrap, right? Like I said, he'll pull the engines, right? Because we gotta pull all the fuel out that shit before we even get rid of it, right? So either he'll pay a company to come pull the fuel out, or he'll ask me to do it. So it depends on how big. So if it's a big fucking boat, then he'll pay a company to do it. But if it's a decent sized boat, like, it ain't anything under 30 feet, he'll just be like, hey, can you come pump this fuel out this boat and then destroy it? And then I'll come down, I'll pump the fuel out the boat and all the other shit, and then I'll destroy the boat. I'll pull the engine, drop that shit in another dumpster, and then we send that dumpster to the scrap yard. But the shit that we take personally to the scrap yard, like the sailboat, that sailboat had a keel on the bottom of it, right? You know, the big ass fin that be on the bottom? Them fins or them keels be made out of lead. Right? A lot of people don't know that. They be made out of lead. Lead is like $1 a pound right now. It might be more because of, like, you know, we was selling all, you know, we was sending all that money to Ukraine for war. They get to make bullets and shit. But it was $1 a pound on lead, and those keels will be anywhere from, I think the lightest keel I've seen was 800 pounds. The heaviest keel we had, oh shit. So the lightest keel we had was, like I said, I don't know if y'all heard what I said, but he'll salvage the keels on sailboats, and they're made of lead. So the lightest keel that I seen was 800 pounds, and it's $1 a pound for lead, maybe a little bit more. And the heaviest I think was like 6,000 pounds. I think we had a 6,000 pound keel. Like, it was so heavy that we had to use the excavator. We couldn't use the forklift to lift that bitch because it was tipping the forklift. We had to use the excavator to pick that bitch up. And even the excavator, if you didn't do that shit like gingerly, the excavator wanted to fucking go over because it was, because the way the arm was out and shit. We put that shit on the trailer, and then when we get to the scrap yard, the one we used, they got this big fucking forklift that could take that shit off and shit. But yeah, so he make the bag off that shit, y'all. He don't go nowhere, Daisy. That's the funny part, right? The cats, I don't know. Them jumped up. So we've been mean, like, he wouldn't let us. So my father, he's a reverend, and he preaches. He walks the way he talks, right? So one day we come into work. The dude Dave on his truck is missing the converter, right? His truck missing the converter. Now we go, I think at the scrapyard, converters might go, it depends, right? I think you can probably get like $150 or $200 for a converter. But for us to replace the converter that was stolen, I think my father said it cost him like $5,000 to replace that converter on that F-350. Because it's not just like one of them older converters you just weld in and it's just there. No, this shit had fucking, sensors and some more shit in it. So it cost us like $5,000 to replace that fucking converter for a crackhead to go get $200 on it. Shit crazy. But we knew who did it. We knew who did it, and my father would not let us catch this nigga slipping. He would not let us catch this nigga slipping. Because we was ready to fuck this nigga up, yo. We knew exactly who did it. And he wouldn't let us do nothing. He's like, nope, leave it alone. I'm gonna let the police handle it, blah, 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 blah. I was like, all right. Because we knew where this nigga was at and everything. He's like, nah, let the police handle it. Y'all leave it alone. I was like, man. 1,200 word? Damn. No, the police got him. The police got that nigga, but I don't know, because this dude was constantly stealing from the trucks, right? He had stole 2 converters. So the one converter wasn't bad because it was like a 04. The truck is a 04, so it's just we could put a straight pipe on that bitch and be straight, right? It didn't matter. We put a straight pipe on that bitch. We didn't even put the converter back. We just put a straight pipe on it. We were straight. But that other truck couldn't run without the converter because all of that emission shit with the newer diesel trucks, right? With the EGR valves and all that other shit. We needed the converter on there for that truck to function. The truck would not function without the converter. So I was like, well, Dad, let's just put the aftermarket. We'll put an aftermarket converter because the aftermarket converter was cheaper, right? But he was like, nah, because I don't want no issues with the DOT. If they see we got a high flow cat on there, they might think that, they might give me a ticket, blah, 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 blah. So I was like, all right, whatever. So he bought the the Ford part and had that shit put back on. Cost him $5,000. But yeah, so when y'all see me in the excavator, it'd be fun, but I'll be in there working. So he'll call me down and be like, hey, yo, if I pay you $30 an hour, can you knock out these boats or these? I was like, hell, fucking yeah! I haul by it as soon as I get off work. I throw them boots on, throw my shit on. I jump right in that excavator and make that $30 an hour real fast. Or like I was kind of pissed because this weekend was me and my wife anniversary weekend. So we ain't had no kids. My son just killed this shit because he's supposed to be with my mother right now. So like he's supposed to be down there for the whole week. I'm like, and my daughter gone on her school or the college tour thing. So I'm like, oh damn, it'd be me and the wife in the house for the week. My son got his new bike and was ready to come back home so he could ride his bike and learn how to ride his bike. Now he know how to ride his bike, so he probably going back down to my mother's house tonight. But my father hit me up, but I ain't hear him because, you know, Friday night was our, you know, the anniversary weekend. Friday night, you know, we out chilling, we doing our thing, we get in the house late, we ain't go to bed till late. So I'm knocked out, right? I'm knocked out. I didn't know this nigga called me. Right? I didn't even know he called me. So I called him back an hour later, like, everything good? He was like, yeah, you missed it. He said, I was gonna pay you $800 to run 2 hours down the street and grab his boat and bring it back. I'm like, it's too late. I'm like, it's too late. He's like, yeah, I sent Chris to get it. I'm like, oh, damn. I was like, she was like, what's wrong? I was like, yo, he's about to pay me $800 to go grab a boat in like somewhere in Virginia. It's like, it was a 2-hour ride. She's like, call him back. I was like, yo, it's too late. He said, it's too late. He said, Chris. I was like, damn, we could have made a day out of that shit. We'd have went, grabbed that boat, put that bitch on the trailer, and then parked that bitch somewhere and went ate and all that other stuff, had some fun, brought that shit back. Quick $800, man. I missed that shit. I was sick. I was sick. But that's how my father be talking, yo. He was like, I just needed you to run 2 hours down the street. That's how he be trying to sell niggas. Like, yo, no, you said you give me $800, nigga. I'd have drove to South Carolina and back for $800, okay? Nigga, like, what? I'd have went to South Carolina and back for $800, nigga. What is you saying? You tripping. Hell yeah, she was for it. She said, hell yeah, no, let's go. She's like, I ride with you. Because I would have needed some help probably because it was in somebody's yard. And I can get them out of people's yards by myself, right? But it helped to have a helper, like hitting the winch button while I'm trying to adjust the trailer and shit like that to make sure I'm right up on it. Because sometimes I don't know what I'm walking into. Either I gotta pull it from, some people want to keep their trailer but get rid of the boat. So it's a certain way I gotta do that shit and finesse it. And when you got help, it's easy as fuck. Like if I have help, I can knock it out in like 20 minutes. If I don't got help, it's gonna take me about 40 minutes to do it, depending on how a situation is. If they getting rid of their trailer, then it's take me about 20 minutes. But if I got help, that should take me like 10 minutes. So I was like, hell yeah, we ride down there. This ain't gonna take long. I think my father said it was a 26-foot boat. It was a 26-foot boat. And I'd have just took the 30-foot trailer with me and brought that bitch up on a 30-foot trailer and brought that shit right on back. Josh said he hiring. Nah, I don't think he hiring, Josh. That nigga, he got his people. He got his people. So he got about 12 people on the payroll, something like that. But yeah, the wife said, let's get this money. And real people say it's down the road, and it's like, yeah, a 2-hour drive. Yeah, that's how he talk though. He'd be like, I think one day he had sent me to Virginia Beach. He had sent me to Chesapeake, Virginia, which is like just outside of Virginia Beach. He sent me to Chesapeake, Virginia to pick up this little dope ass boat. There wasn't nothing wrong with the boat. The guy was just getting rid of it because he got a new one. It was one of them boats with like the dual jet ski engines on them and shit. That shit was fire. Wasn't nothing wrong with that bitch, and he wouldn't let me keep it. I was like, let me keep this one. Nah, I told the guy I was gonna get rid of it. I was like, Dad, come on, he gave you the title. Let me put this shit in my name. He don't know. That boy, nothing wrong with the boat. The bitch that shit was slick. Anyway, so he paid me. I think he paid me $600 to go. Cause I forgot, cause it was a smaller boat, so he didn't get paid as much. But he paid me like $600 to go grab it. And he tried to be like, I was like, that's like Chesapeake, Virginia. I said that's like a 5-hour ride, 6-hour ride. He's like, it's not that bad. I said, you want me to go down? Cause he wanted me to go down and come back the same day. And I'm like, you want me to, I said, that's going to be 14, 16 hours, Dad. Like, God damn. I was like, get me a room. I'll come back in the morning. You bitching up, yo. You bitching up, yo. How you go? You can get down there and back. I was like, that's 16 hours, yo. And they hauled ass down that bitch at like, I think I left at like 3 in the morning. Got down that bitch like 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. Got that boat up on the trailer and started making my way back. I had to stop at Cracker Barrel. You got to stop at the Cracker Barrel when you're on the road. But I stopped at Cracker Barrel, got me my country fried steak, ate real good, jumped back on the road, and then got me some snacks after I filled back up at the gas station. And I hauled ass back. I think I got back. So if I stopped at Cracker Barrel, I think I got back on the road at like 12:30-ish. So I got back at this bitch like 6 p.m. I mean, I was moving, boy. Traffic was on my side too. I was like, thank you. But you know, $600. I was like, yeah, no, you know what? Don't worry about the room. I'm gonna just bring my ass on back. Just put that $600 in my check, please. Thank you. $500 for a boat. You gotta like. I hit you up, E, because sometimes he be like, he was gonna sell a catamaran. He was gonna keep the catamaran or he was gonna sell it, right? So the catamaran kind of dope because like it's a nice little party boat. Like you can go out there and chill on the water, have a little party on that bitch. It's like a floating deck. Is essentially kind of what the catamaran is, like a floating deck. So you know, he probably could have got that. Sometimes he'll sell them and then sometimes he won't. But what he would definitely do is he'll sell you parts off of it if you want it. But you got to get that shit within 24 hours of him getting the boat. Doty said boats and hoes. Oh, yo, we stay at Occoquan, yo. We stay pulling boats out of Occoquan. I know exactly what marina you talking about. It's a nice ass marina too, yo. That marina in Occoquan is nice. Like we stay down that bitch getting boats. Like when I go to that marina, like certain marinas, like I'll take the big saw. Like when I gotta take like a fly bridge down, I'll just take the big saw and cut that bitch, right? But at Occoquan, them boats so nice at that marina that I just take my time and I unscrew that fucking fly bridge, and I do not use that saw on the fiberglass because that fiberglass get to flying. It be on people's boats and shit. Occoquan, when I pull up at Occoquan, that marina down there, like I make sure I got all the tools so I can do that shit neatly. That marina is nice. Like, that's one marina I don't mind going to grab a boat at all. I do not mind going there. It's, you know what I mean? And then a lot of the times we get down there, they'll take their lift and they put the boat right on my trailer with the lift. And then I just roll right the fuck out. But most of the times when I go down there, I'm going down there to pull the fly bridge off of some big ass boat we about to get. And then my father was sending somebody else to go grab it if the boat's too big for me to pull back. Because I can pull the boat back, but like I got a weight limit since I only got a DOT. I need to get my restricted CDL, right? I need to get my restricted CDL because that with the restricted CDL, I get the weight, but I just can't drive air brakes. So I can get the weight of a Class A. I just can't have air brakes. So all I need it for with the company is just so I can pull back a bigger boat. You know what I mean? So I'm probably get my restricted, and then after that, then I'll go with the full CDL, just so I can pull bigger boats back. But I was like, I'm not getting a full CDL if he's not going to get a truck worth me getting a full CDL. So like, cause I said if I get my full CDL, Dad, I said just get like a one of them little small tractors, and then I can just and then I could just drive whatever back. But he don't want to put the money into one of them smaller tractors. You know, not the dual axle. You know, the single axle tractors. They make them smaller, and he won't. He's like, nah, I don't want, because a lot of maintenance. That's all right, whatever. I said, well, look, I can get it, and I found out about it from the DOT police. They're like, just get it restricted. I was like, I didn't know they had that shit. He's like, yeah. He said, you get the weight, you just can't have air brakes. I was like, that's a fucking plan. So, but the thing about it is, the restricted, all I had to do really was just read the fucking book and go take the test at the MVA and get it. But now I think a lot of these new drivers done fucked up the money, because you got a lot of these drivers out here. These new drivers is they keep getting in accidents, and like tragic accidents. And I see it all the time here at the port. These niggas can't drive. They can't drive at all. I'm like, how the fuck you get, like, how'd you do that? Like, how'd you tip your truck? Like, how fucking fast was you going? Or they done ran into some shit, or like they don't pay attention to like how tall the shit is, and they done fucking took a bridge out. Like, so now, like, all these CDL drivers have to, they gotta go to school. And I think I even have to go to school just to get a restricted CDL. And I'm like, well, I'm about to get the full CDL. But again, it's like that. Get the truck worth doing that shit, and then we got it. Because one of his friends, or one of the guys that like goes get the bigger trailers for him, or the bigger boats and stuff, he was like, hey, yo, he was like, you want to do some work for me on the side? I was like, I don't got my CDL, man. Because I see Matt down here at the port. That's one of the reasons Matt asked me, because I got a Twick. He's like, well, shit, I can send Brandon into the bitch. Since he got a Twick, I don't got to keep running down to the port. I can send Brandon into the port and grab the boat for me since he got a Twick. But I say, I don't got a CDL like you do, man. I was like, if I had the restricted or a CDL like you do, then yeah, I could do that for you. He's like, oh, damn. Because he came to pick up I forgot what happened. He came to do something, and I had already had it done. So all he had to do was just fucking back up under the boat and leave. And he's like, damn, you made this shit easy. He's like, you trying to do some work for me? If I had the CDL, I definitely would do it. Vaccine injury drivers. The head chef for the DOD told me if I want to get a boat, that's the best place to dock. It is. $250 a month? Oh, for his people. Okay. Yeah, because like that marina in Occoquan is kind of, it reminds me of the marina up here in Canton. It's like an upscale marina. Like, you ain't gonna see no half-ass boats. You ain't gonna see no bullshit boats down in Occoquan at all. You ain't gonna see no bullshit boats. Like the one of the boats I went and got, they was getting rid of it because it was a fucking eyesore. I was like, damn. Like, yeah, so the owner's he's just gonna scrap it because he was trying to work on it here, and it's just an eyesore. And as you can see, all the rest of these boats around here, there. I was like, I get it. I get it. You know what I mean? So yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, that marina got like a restaurant on it. Yeah, they do. I ate in there. One day I had to wait for a while for like they'd be back in like they'd be back in like an hour or something like that. They had to go run somewhere. I said, oh damn. Yeah, so they have a maintenance. Yeah, I can believe it. My father be like, he be walking on eggshells down that bitch. He be like, yo, y'all make sure y'all look presentable. Don't look all crazy. I'm like, that nigga, we got you. We got you. Don't be walking there with your pants off your ass. He was talking to the other people like, don't make no mess, right? Don't make no mess. Make sure the battery. I said, Dad, you act like I ain't did this shit before. I'm like, you act like I ain't did this shit before, my nigga. I said, I got you. So when they see me pull up down there, they know that the shit gonna go right. But I like that marina. I like that marina a lot. I like that marina a lot. But yeah, he make a bunch of money off of them boats, yo. He make a lot of money. I'm just trying to figure out how to get me some boat money, right? Because he be like, I mean, if you get a boat and you sell it, I'll split it with you 50-50. I'm like, all right, cool. But then this nigga not out here soliciting for boats. That's the thing. He not out here soliciting for boats. They come to him. So like he put an ad out and say that he destroyed boats. He even got like a ad on the radio. So he not calling around to like the marinas and shit like that. They just come to him. So every boat that he get is just like some passive shit. Like he just call like, hey, you heard you get rid of boats. Like, yeah. Then he give him a little spiel and then boom, it's $3,000 or whatever it is he charging them to get rid of the boat. So I'm like, I'm gonna have to figure out a way around. You know, he got an ad in the fucking on Google and shit. People put in boat removal, his name come up. His name is the only one that come up. I just gotta figure out. I'm gonna probably have to start going from marina to marina and trying to get it. But at the same time, every marina know my dad. Every marina in Maryland, Virginia, North Carolina, they all know him. Pennsylvania, they all know my dad. So if I was to go up there trying to sell or trying to like, hey, you know, we destroy boats, it's like preaching to the choir. Like, oh yeah, we already fucking know. You know your dad. We call him already. So it's like, damn. We know the DNR calls my dad to get rid of boats. So when people abandon the boats, the DNR call him. So I'm like, damn, like if I go to these marinas, it don't matter because they already use my dad. So I'm like, damn, I have to figure this shit out. I'm gonna have to start knocking on people's door where I see raggedy ass boats in their front yard. Like, you wanna get rid of that piece of shit? Here go my card, call me. I had to do that shit. Just drive and see somebody with a fucked up boat in their yard. Just pull over. Hey, you want to get rid of that? I can hook you up. Oh shit. Anyway, so I think as of an hour ago, let me see. I think so as of an hour ago, this kid, damn, why is it getting, there we go. As of an hour ago, I think he just went before a judge. So as this title says, boy who stabbed athlete to death in front of twin in Texas track meet makes shockwave move as court date looms. So the shock move that he made was he changed out his counsel. He got some new lawyers, which I found interesting, right? So I was like, damn, why would he get new lawyers right before his date, right? Like, why would he get new lawyers? So I'm sitting there like, And then I started thinking about it, and I started thinking about the press conference that his original lawyer had. And I said this on my stream, and I said this on HJ stream. I said, yo, I don't think his lawyer got faith in the in the self-defense case. I was like, he don't sound like he got faith in the self-defense case. And then that national action group or whatever it is, whoever that is, I don't know about them. They seem like scammers to me, but I don't know. But he got rid of his original counsel, and I was like, like I said on HJ's channel, I said, yo, his counsel, I said his lawyers don't even sound convinced on the self-defense. And that's what I'm thinking. That's why he changed out his lawyer. I think his lawyer was probably going to try to have him cop a plea. I think the original lawyer is going to try to have him cop a plea, and I think he swapped out his attorneys to that was going to fight the case, which is smart. Like, if I was his parents and the lawyer come to me before the case even, like, yeah, I think you should take this time. I'm just speculating here. Take this because I don't think you got a case. I'm gonna be like, nah, we need a second opinion, nigga. Like, appreciate you, see yourself out. And then they got some new lawyers. So we'll see if these new lawyers can make a case for the self-defense argument. I still stand by what I think, and like I said, I'm just speculating too, and just going based off of the information that we have available and statutes and stuff like that, I think this kid might be, I think they're not going to give him murder one. That's just stupid. They're not going to give him murder one. I think it's going to be manslaughter. I think he does 5 years, but they could give him up to 20 years on that. I just found out about this thing called imperfect self-defense that they have in Texas. It's called imperfect self-defense. So it's like, okay, he defended himself. However, he was the reason why he had to defend himself, essentially. So what would happen is, let's just say they found him guilty on murder, right? You can argue imperfect self-defense, and then they would knock that down to manslaughter and maybe give him 3 or 4 years, which is probably more likely to happen. So even if they do argue self-defense, they could be like, he did defend himself. However, he wouldn't have had to do this if he didn't do this, or blah, 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 blah. And they'd be like, he still didn't, so he defended himself, but he didn't meet the criteria. So it'd be like, he defended himself, but the level of force was unjustified. So it's not a justifiable homicide, but he did defend himself. So we're not going to give him murder one. We'll give him manslaughter, and we'll give him 3 years or something like that. I think that's more likely to happen. It's just sad though, because this kid had the world ahead of him, you know. Supposedly he was a great athlete, he was a good student. He was going to go to college, you know what I mean? His parents afforded him a fantastic life, and he may have screwed himself. You know, who Crump ain't gonna touch this. The black man would have had to die for Crump to be over that bitch. So it's just sad, man. You know, but he got money. He got money to fight this case. You know, that GoFundMe and that was it GoFundMe or GiveSend? Which one? GiveSend Go said that they're not taking it down, right? GoFundMe took it down. I can't remember. But he got. I think they put it back up. I forgot how that shit works. Rules work. And like I said on H Station, I said yes you can, and yes you can. I've actually consulted a lawyer that I know on that. They said, yeah, you can 100% use a case in your argument from another state that has similar statutes. And that's the case I was telling you about the guy, Marcus McLaughlin, who his wife was arguing with some man over a parking spot. Marcus McLaughlin ran out the store, pushed the man to the ground. The man pulled out a gun and shot Marcus McLaughlin. The guy tried to argue stand your ground. They said it didn't meet the criteria simply because Marcus McLaughlin pushed him. Even though Marcus McLaughlin was a big-ass black dude, he was like my size, and he pushed this little white man down. They still was like, that shit don't meet the criteria because he just pushed you. He didn't push you and proceed to beat on you. He pushed you, and that was it. You pulled your gun, you shot him. That is not grounds for self-defense. They took his stand your ground from him, and they said that is not self-defense. They gave him 20 years on manslaughter. Right? So I'm just looking at this case studies and stuff. That shit was dying on me. I didn't realize that shit was dying on me. Alright, there we go. One in the chat if y'all can still hear me. You know, the level of force in a self-defense situation matters in jurisdictions if they're going to uphold you. Yeah, my phone was fucked up, but we'll see how this shit goes. Perfect. When I heard the imperfect self-defense, that they can rule for that, I was like, that makes more sense. Be self-defense, but they can say it's an imperfect self-defense. Although the kid, it'll take it from the murder charge to down to manslaughter or whatever. And I think in Texas, it can be with manslaughter is 2 to 20 years. With murder, it's 5 to 99 years. I think that's how that works. So, we'll see. You know, I just feel bad. Both kids, essentially both parents lost a kid, but when both kids lost, you know, their lives essentially, you know. Now, if the kid does do 5 years, or even if he does 20 years, he still has a lot of life left. But at the same time, it's just a tragic situation that should have never happened. Period. These kids need to learn how to fucking knuckle the fuck up. You feel me? And like I said, I carry a gun, you know, but I'm not going to pull that gun on a nigga that's just talking shit or a nigga that just pushes me or whatever. No, I'm gonna beat that nigga the fuck up. Right? We going to blows. If it come down to the gunplay, then it's got to come down to the gunplay. But you know what I mean, and you know, or if I'm outnumbered, or I'm getting my ass whooped, which I think he's being charged as an adult because he's 17. I think in the state of Texas, 17 is adult, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm gonna get my ass whooped, which I highly doubt it. I highly doubt I'll be getting my ass whooped. But if I'm getting my ass beat and I feel like my life is in imminent danger, now I'm mop. You know what I mean? If I'm outnumbered and these niggas, there's a bunch of people ready to fuck me up, mop. You know what I mean? If a nigga lift his waistband up to show me he got something on him, mop. My life was in danger. He showed me a weapon. But you have to know what level of force you can use in situations, and you have to be aware of that. And ignorance of the law isn't going to help you in a court of law. The prosecution's job is to make you look as bad as possible, and that's what they're going to do. So hopefully these new lawyers this kid got can make a real solid case for self-defense. We'll see. They say they got a tape out. Or they not out. They say that there's video showing what actually went down, but they keep reporting on the video, but nobody has the video. They haven't put the video out. There's a video, and there's no video. So I'm like, is there a video, or just more misinformation? You know what I mean? Is there a video out there, or is this more misinformation? So we'll see, man. The trial probably won't happen for like another year. Trial won't probably have, like, how long did it take the Daniel Penny trial to happen? The Daniel Penny trial happened. How long? It took like almost 2 years almost before he went to trial in New York. So maybe at the maybe it may be a little faster in Texas. Probably see it in a year. But it's going to be interesting to see. Now, as far as this is going to change the landscape of self-defense forever, no, it's not. Daniel Penny would have changed the landscape for self-defense and defense of others. That would have changed the landscape for that, because of what happened in that case. Kyle Rittenhouse would have changed the landscape of self-defense. That case, because of the chain of events and the things that went down in that case. This one, now, had this have been two black kids in an altercation and one of them got stabbed, this wouldn't be a story. If this was two white kids, it wouldn't be a story. You got a black kid and a white kid. So they racialized it, and now it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing, you know. So it's just a tragic state of affairs, and a tragic state of affairs. But we're gonna see how this shit plays out, though. We're gonna see how it plays out. But like I told you guys, 2024 is lit. Depends on the case that TK happened in 2017, and he just started his court case. That's in 2017. What happened to your right to a speedy trial? That's wild. Oh, he was already doing 55 years. Still, you still have the right to a speedy trial. Don't matter. That's crazy. I hope the case don't take that long. I hope that shit don't take that long. This one happens fast. Even the Travis Rudolph case. Remember we covered the Travis Rudolph case on this channel? What's up, Pop? The Travis Rudolph case would have changed the landscape for self-defense because of what happened to Travis Rudolph. I saw my channel, quick synopsis. Travis Rudolph was an ex-NFL player. He was dating some girl. He was getting ready to leave for the Canadian Football League. I think Shorty found out he had another Shorty. She started tripping and shit. He put her out the house, and then she called her brother and his friends and said she wanted that nigga got. She texted this nigga. She texted her brothers and her friends, right? And said she wanted this nigga got. They said, say less. They showed up at this nigga house deep. They knock on the door. The brother go outside. They start beating on his brother. He go outside. They get into a big scuffle with these dudes. One of the kids pulled out the blicky on his brother. He seen it. He ran in the house, grabbed the AR, came back outside. They had chased the brother. Started running. I guess once he saw the gun, they chased the brother down. He ran down the street and let that bitch go. Let that bitch go. They jump in the car. They still pointing the guns at him. He started letting that bitch go into the car. I think he hit one kid. He killed one kid. And the other kid with the gun, that had a gun, he dropped his gun in the alley and was hauling ass. He had to go to court. He had to go to trial for that shit. They took his stand your ground away from you. They took Travis Rudolph's stand your ground. This is in Miami. They took his stand your ground away from you. And they tried to hang that nigga. Despite having text messages from the girlfriend to her brother saying she wanted him killed. Despite despite the kid pulling the gun out on his brother, despite them finding the gun in the alley that the kid had, or one of the kids had, and other eyewitness accounts from like ring cameras and stuff showing that these kids showing up to this dude's house after they texted, they took his stand your ground away from him in front of his house. Now that shit would have changed. Yeah, the Travis case was crazy. That case would have changed the landscape of self-defense, because like you can't defend yourself from being killed in front of your own house. Yeah, the Travis shit was wild. So like I was saying, although HJ was like, you can't use case law from another state for Texas, you can. Like I said, I consulted some people, and it's a simple Google search. You can use cases from other states to make an argument for a case in another state. Like I said, the Marcus McLaughlin one I showed you guys. Like I said, when he pushed his wife got in an argument. His wife got in an argument with a guy over a parking spot. The guy was yelling at his wife because she was parking in a handicap spot. He came outside, big ass nigga, pushed the white boy to the ground. White boy pulled a gun and shot him. White boy doing 20 years right now because they took his stand your ground from him, and they took his right to self-defense from him because the level of force he used. He's like, yo, he just pushed you. He just pushed you. Like he didn't push you and then proceed to beat on you. He pushed you and you shot him. Your level of force wasn't justified, and that's how, you know. And you can use other states' cases that have similar statutes and stuff like that. So because Florida and Texas have a similar stand your ground statute and all that other stuff, that's why I use that situation. Same thing with Travis Rudolph. But yeah, Travis Rudolph would have changed the landscape, because that shit was wild the way they did him. They tried to hang him simply because he had an AR-15. They tried to hang him simply because he had an AR-15. And he said, well, why didn't you use your FN? Well, what the fuck does it matter what gun he used? You know what I mean? Trap stuff's wild as fuck. Don't mess with lowbrow women. Don't trust big button smile. Yeah, Shorty was tripping. She was mad. She was she was mad because the fun he was leaving, he's going to Canada for 2. I guess he had started talking to some other chick. Yeah, they hate the AR. That's the only reason they're trying to hang Travis. And if he would have lost that case, then the stand your ground statute in Florida would have been fucked up. So. Oh, it 100% killed. If, like I said, if Daniel Penny or if Kyle Rittenhouse or Travis Rudolph, which I think was way huge, that nobody really paid attention to, them cases would have changed the landscape of the two-way. Like niggas coming to your door, coming to kill you. You got this shit on record that they was coming to kill you, right? They show up at your door for nothing. None of them niggas got charged for nothing, and they was the perpetrators. They were the initial aggressors. They treated them like the victims. None of them got charged for shit. And they found the gun and everything. They even had the brother testify at Travis Fight again. Right? So we're gonna see what kind of case this kid's new lawyers can make. Because I think the reason, like Pro said that the other lawyers was the cheapos, right? I don't know. I think his other lawyers probably told him to take a plea deal, and his parents was like, "Are you fucking high?" I think that's what it. That's just me speculating. Like, why would they get rid of the lawyers? Or they was rocking with them. Lawyers probably said, take this plea deal. They probably didn't have faith in the case or in the argument, because he didn't sound like that. His first lawyers didn't sound like they had faith in the argument. And that nigga, his father's probably like, "Are y'all fucking crazy?" And he got new lawyers, which he should have. He should have. I would have did the same thing. Like, no, fuck that. I'm not telling my son to take no fucking plea. Are you crazy? I'm just assuming maybe that's what happened. And you get some lawyers that said they can make the case. They got the bag right now from the GoFundMe, so they got enough money to fight this case. So we're gonna see what happens. You know, I think the kid he's going to do some time, but it's not going to be murder. They may argue in perfect self-defense and give him like 5 years. But we'll see though. We'll see. Also, they saying they got that video, but there's no video out. So I'm sure that video ain't gonna come out until after. I don't know. Maybe it'll come out today because he's in court today. So maybe it comes out today. I don't know. But I wouldn't let the video come out before a jury selected. I wouldn't let the video come out before the trial. I wouldn't. You know, I wouldn't let that shit. I was like, I'm holding to that tape until the jury is picked and this trial starts. Because the video getting leaked or surfacing can kind of taint the jury pool, I think. Especially because of social media. It's just me. Especially if you want this kid to have a shot at maybe beating the case, you cannot let the video come on. Especially because if that video shows him being in the wrong, it's a wrap. I mean, it can show that in the court too. But remember with Rittenhouse, we didn't see a lot of that video till the trial happened. So we'll see. But yeah. Oh yeah, Josh. Yep. You're right. I don't understand why the state didn't put charges on Shorty either, yo. They should put charges on Shorty and her brother and them boys, and they ain't do none of that. But Josh is right. The LSU pick, he killed himself, man. Young kid just committed suicide. Yeah, we saw the FBI had a drone out there. That's all the shit that came out in the middle of the trial. You know, like on his face, a lot of us will speculate, like, nah, he defended himself, self-defense. He retreated. He tried to retreat. You know, people came at him with multiple weapons, trying to hurt him. Like, no, he's, you know, even if he wasn't supposed to have the gun, right? Because people keep saying he traveled across state lines with the gun. He didn't. The gun was already in Indiana or wherever the fuck it was at. The gun was already there, and he could, you know, and he was allowed to have it. That's why Rittenhouse didn't go down for illegal possession of a firearm. Yeah, that's why he didn't go down for illegal possession of a firearm, because he wasn't in illegal possession of it. This LSU kid, yo. Damn. So this kid, LSU pick, on his way, played ball, committed suicide. And we don't know why. All I can say about that, yo, and we'll talk about it later on tonight. All I can say about that is, man, stay in your kids' ear, yo. Stay in your kids' ear. Talk to your kids. See how their day's going. See what's bothering them. You know, a lot of us get caught up in life and trying to provide for our children and make money and this and that, but we don't make the time to just sit down and just have a conversation with them. Take them on a ride, go get a fucking snowball, take them to Baskin Robbins or fucking Friendlies or some shit, and just talk and see how life is going for them. You know. I try to do that on a regular with my kids, just because I don't want that for them. I don't want to come home and my kid took themselves out or whatever. So I try to make it my business, especially with my daughter. 16-year-old teenage girl with hormones and shit. I try to make that a regular thing. To ask her how the day's going, what's going on. She gets in the car sometimes and she just vents. Dad, these girls, or Dad, these teachers, and I just listen. And then I give her, I don't tell her what she want to hear. I tell her stuff that she may need to hear, or maybe some aspect or perspective that she didn't think of, whatever like that. Try to give her some sound advice, But the fact that my daughter feels comfortable enough to come to the point, because we facilitated a type of relationship where she can come and she can talk to me and say, hey, Dad, this. You know what I mean? It speaks volumes, and it helps your kids because they don't feel like they gotta keep secrets, and these secrets don't eat at them to the point where they feel like they can't live with the secret, or whatever the secret it is, and they make an irrational decision based off of some fucking teenage shit. You know what I mean? Oh shit, is that right? What's up, Carlos? Damn, is that right? I didn't know that. Because when I was reading it, nobody really said why. He was set to be on trial for vehicular homicide? Damn. Damn, that's wild. That's wild. I can't imagine, y'all. Damn. That's crazy, because at a glance, I didn't see that. I wanted to talk about it later on tonight. I was going to look at it a little more. That's crazy. So, was he drunk driving, Pop? Was he like drunk driving or texting? What happened? Like, an innocent person. So you gotta live with that trauma, right? You gotta live with that trauma. On top of that, now you gotta go to court and potentially face time in jail, in prison. You decide to say fuck it and just take yourself out of there. And then who knows how his parents was treating him about it? Who knows how the community was treating him? He probably was on an island. He was probably on the island, yo. Like, nobody got my back. Nobody is supporting me. Nobody cares about me. I'm on my own with this shit. Life is over. Choose, right? I try to do that a lot. So you got it. So whatever he was doing, whether it was drunk driving or reckless driving, he caused the death of a 70-year-old man. He got to face the music on that. He got to go to trial, and he facing some time on that. So in his head, I'm about to go to jail. I killed somebody. That's already hard enough to live with. And then maybe I don't know, like his parents, I don't know if they were supporting him. Maybe his parents shut down. Maybe his parents shut down on him. You fucking ruined your life. I can hear it. You fucking ruined your life, you idiot. What the fuck was you thinking? You going to jail. Your life is over. So now he got that. Now he got the death of this man in his head. He know he got to go to trial for this shit. And then he could potentially, again, speculate me proper, because parents are going to be pissed about that. You just fucking ruined your life over some stupid shit. Right? You going to jail. I can't believe the parents shut down on him. They treating him different. Star athlete. Now because of some, reckless decision, he alone. He on an island by himself mentally. He has no support. Maybe the parents are supporting him, but, they still just eating at him. So in his mind, he ain't got no support, and he couldn't deal. He couldn't deal with that shit. He probably couldn't deal with that shit. He took himself out. Again, guys, we gotta stay in our kids' ears, yo. We gotta keep talking to them. We gotta just ask how their day's going and shit like that. But on top of that, given the circumstances of this LSU kid, we still gotta stay in our kids' ears about making wise decisions and choices. My father, that's one thing he always did, yo. My father used to, that nigga was like he was his own scared straight program, my nigga. Like, I call it the Kevin Cowser curse. If that nigga say don't do that shit, or it's not a good idea for me to do that shit, I do not do that shit. I am 40 years old, and my father told me it's not a good idea to do some shit. I do not do that shit, because every time that nigga say that's not a good idea, I wouldn't do that, and then I do that shit, nigga, the shit that he said was gonna happen fucking happens. I'm like, fuck. And I even tell the drivers at the office, I said, don't fall into that Kevin Cowser curse. I said, my father tell y'all niggas don't do some shit, I promise you, watch. This shit gonna happen to you. And they was like, yo, you damned if you ain't right, y'all. So I told you. I said, that's why when he say do something a certain way, when we out here doing the job, I don't do it my way. Although my way might be more logical. The simple fact that he said don't do that shit because of something, I'ma do it my way, and then that shit that he said was gonna happen if I do it my way happens. Now I'm fucked up in the game. But my dad always stayed in our ear about making wise decisions when we would go out, you know, in public or to parties or to any place. He would always do that. He always just put that bug in our ear to make a wise choice, right? I was 15 with a fucking Fox body 5.0, 430 horsepower car. At that time, ain't no 15-year-olds would have had that type of car for a first car. Okay? Love that car. The nigga stayed in my ear about that car. That car can kill you, and that car can kill somebody else. That car is fast, and in a split second, you can lose control of it and kill yourself or somebody else. He always told me that shit. Because he wanted me to make wise choices behind the wheel of that car. You know what I mean? No matter what, it just always kept a bug in our ear. Just and him doing that, I feel like, you know, subliminally kept me out of a lot of shit. So, like, yo, you got teenage kids, I don't care how old they are, actually, just stay in their ear and just keep a bug in their ear about making wise choices. Like, my daughter is on this college trip. This is the first time she's on a week-long trip with her, you know, they got chaperones and shit, but it's the first time she's on a week-long trip without us being there, right? And my wife keeps saying, don't keep hitting her over the head. I say, yo, I don't need her doing something stupid, you know, 8-10 hours away from us. What's up, Blunstep? I don't need her doing some dumb shit 8 to 10 hours away from us. Okay? We got a good kid, we raised a great kid, but she gonna be out here with her friends, and her friends, nigga, I told her no drinking, I don't know how many times, yo. I said I will fly to Atlanta and I will goon hand your ass back to Baltimore if I hear about y'all getting caught drinking and all this other shit. So, I had to talk with her, like, look, we ain't gonna be around. I need you to make wise decisions. Don't fall in. If your friends or the other girls on the trip want to go do stupid shit, you was not involved in that. If they start trying to go do, you make sure you separate yourself from the crowd and you do what you're supposed to do. You don't want to be gone out of state and some crazy shit happen to you. Now we got to come identify you, or we got to come bail you out or something. And so we trusting you to go by yourself. You know, I know you got chaperones, but listen to the chaperones. Do whatever they told you to do. I said, you know, this is what you call ultimate freedom right here. A lot of parents won't let their kids do shit like this without them. I said, but Pop wasn't that type of parent, and I'm not going to be that type of parent, but I'm going to tell you, these are the consequences behind not listening. I said, if I didn't listen to Pop, shit didn't go right for me. When I listened to Pop, shit went smooth. So I said, make sure you listening and you doing exactly what I told you to do. I said, turn that fucking location on. If you turn your location off, we got a problem. I said, I'm not going to bug you, but I will be checking in. Right? I will be checking in. You know, and just make smart decisions. If you know your friend's about to do something dumb, don't fall to the peer pressure. You go do what you're supposed to do. And that was it. And I check on her. I said, you good? I don't need, I don't got to text her or call her. I was like, are you good? Yeah, I'm good. What y'all doing? No, we at Dave & Buster's. All right, cool. Ain't nothing crazy going down, right? No, we good. All right. Love you. And I'll check on you later. And I check on her like maybe twice a day. Make sure she's straight. We ain't heard nothing back. She been gone since Saturday. So I think she'll be back Friday. And I'm going to just keep that bug in her ear because I know how fast shit can go south. Especially when you don't listen to your parents. I had times when I didn't listen to my dad and I was in some situations. And by the grace of God, I got out of them bitches without him knowing about those situations. But I'm like, I should have fucking listened. This nigga told me. My dad had a Lincoln Mark, what, 6? Damn. The 5.0? Thunderbirds the same way. Mercury Cougars, same way, had the same engine. Them bitches was fast. I didn't know they had a turbocharged Thunderbird. I was like, damn, I want one now. But yeah, guys, stand in your kids' ear. I know we can get busy with our own shit, right? We think our kids got it and we raise them, but it still don't hurt to just be in their ear and telling them don't make no dumb decisions. My wife think I'm being overbearing. I'm like, no, it's my daughter that's 1. 2, she ain't never been by herself on a trip without us. Right? Like they ain't just they got, like I said, they got chaperones, but we usually we're there. It didn't matter. This first time we're not there to reel her in or whatever. I said, no, she's smart. I said, but we need to make sure of that. That's it. So, but it's sad with this kid, man. He, that's a lot of weight to bear. I killed somebody in my car. I'm going to have to go to trial for this, and I'm probably going to go to jail. I just ruined my life. I was, as far as going to school and having this career. My parents hate me and are disappointed in me and told me I ruined my life. This is just me thinking how this kid probably thinks, just speculation. And then he fucking takes the easy way out. We're gonna talk about that tonight. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about that nigga Quadarius. That nigga. We're gonna talk about that shit. We're gonna talk about I guess Katy Perry and fucking some other people went up to fucking orbit and came back down and shit. Jeff Bezos' wife went up there with him. They went up in the orbit for 11 minutes and dropped back down, allegedly. Allegedly. We're gonna talk about that stuff tonight, guys. Oh my gosh, that shit is crazy. So this is why fathers are so important. Mine's helped me avoid all the traps. Now I'm living good. Yeah. Anyway, guys, feminists in space, right? Exactly. They just launched your niggas up there like a science experiment. You floated back down. But that's all I got for you guys. I'm about to go ahead and do what I need to do. Go grab me some lunch. If you're new, hit the like, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification icon. It'll let you know when I got new content coming out. Share the stream, guys. Let people know we were live. You're catching the replay. Leave a comment. Let me know how I'm doing. We can use that constructive criticism over here. You want to donate to the channel? $, Cannon Hotep on Cash App. Okay? Super chats. Kick subscriptions if you want to kick. You know, hit that subscribe button, man. Gift the sub. Sharing is caring, guys. Goes back into the channel. Goes back into the channel. Yeah, we got space thoughts. We're going to talk about it later, though. But anyway, guys, until next time, it's Cannon Hotep saying be blessed, stay strapped, don't miss. And don't worry about tomorrow, guys. Tomorrow got enough problems of its own. Worry about today. I'll let you know.